With Kingsman: The Golden Circle having just came out in theaters, I decided to go back and watch Kingsman: The Secret Service for the first time, which I totally didn't pirate. But that got me thinking about how action movies are filmed. So let's look at two scenes, the church scene from Kingsman and the airport scene from Casino Royale. Starting with the airport scene, Bond has to stop a plane from blowing up. And there are many problems with this scene. One being the fact that everything is set up perfectly for Bond. The stairs are in the perfect place for him to jump onto the truck. He's able to catch up with a moving truck on foot with a convenient ladder on the back, plus his ability to hang on to this moving vehicle. There's also no other law enforcement around, despite earlier in the scene we see large amounts of police and staff. The police do show up once Bond starts fighting this guy, which leads me to my next problem. In fact, I'll just let CinemaSins take this one.
You know what might make this fight a tiny bit more interesting? If I had any idea who this bad guy was, what he was trying to do, what his skill level was, whether he can speak English. I mean, we know negative things about this guy.
I couldn't have said that better myself. We know nothing about this guy. Name, motive, backstory, and moving past that, Bond then attaches a small bomb to this guy's belt, which later the bad guy blows up, but for some reason couldn't hear the beeping until after he sets the timer for the bomb. Now, let's look at the church scene from Kingsman. And before this scene even starts, we already know who the bad guy is, what his motives are, and how people are affected by his device. Plus, not to mention how the scene was shot. Anytime we move to a different camera angle, it's for the most part a continuous motion when viewing it from whatever camera shot it's in. No jump cuts like the James Bond fight. Kingsman scene makes you feel for the character because we know what's going on. We have the information to make a connection in the scene. Not even counting the follow-up scene, which I'll talk about in a future video, where of course if that's already made, I'll put a little timestamp or card in the corner. But the point that I'm trying to make is that when an action scene is filmed, it should add context to the story and have purpose, not just action being filmed for the point of showing fighting or explosions. I'm looking at you, Transformers. Such a shit movie. What does this mean for spy movies as a franchise? Well, shorthand answer, James Bond movies are fucked. Mainly because instead of forming its own characters with decent motive, they tend to just adapt what's popular at the time. GoldenEye tried to capitalize on the trend of bungee jumping in the 90s, not to mention the horrible use of green screen in Die Another Day. Casino Royale hopped on the train of hype for parkour. This is why Bond as a character seems so over-the-top replaceable. Using a point Mr. Sunday Movies made, Jason Bourne had a huge impact on James Bond movies. Look at Die Another Day and Casino Royale. Two completely different movies in tone, and only 4 years apart. Kingsman, of course, has flaws, but it's not afraid to be its own thing and play off all the tropes of spy movies. It's fun gadgets, but can't just easily be replaced by a phone. What do you guys think about action movies as a whole? You guys have a favorite? Let me know in the comments. I also finally have some kind of upload schedule. I'll be doing at least 3 comic videos and 1 video essay a week. I can't give really a specific day just due to life and work, but at least that helps a little bit. And if you do want to subscribe, feel free, or don't. I don't really care. I'm just an asshole with a keyboard and an opinion. Also, real quick, I added this in while I was editing. So, the lo-fi hip-hop video that I was talking about in my last comic video, that'll be coming out next week sometime. It took me a little bit longer to make than I thought, and I'm still working on just getting all my information together and coming up with some good visuals for that. So that'll be coming. It just is going to be coming as soon.